Guys, can you hear me? Yeah, great. So last week we have seen about the EC2, how to spin up an instance. So anyone have any doubt on this? Shall I go to the new topic today? I take it as no. Yeah. So today we're gonna see about AWS security measures. On part of it, I'm gonna start about IAM, Identity Access Management. In AWS security, we have to see two ways. In first thing is managed by AWS. Like AWS, you all know, like AWS already complies of various certifications, and they're binded with all the country's laws and regulatories. And their data center is 24/7, well secured by the physical security. Whereas from our side, we'll have to take care of our own accounts. First thing, we'll have to choose IAM. So we'll see about IAM, how to use IAM and how to create users, groups, roles, and everything. And next thing will be WAF, like web application firewalls. In the upcoming class, I hope I can complete those things. So IAM, Identity Access Management. So what is Identity Access Management? Which is nothing but like in every every office or every environment, we'll have users and roles. For each users will have some privileges. Similarly, in AWS account, you're gonna create a user and providing some roles and for each user to access the AWS resources. So it says securely control individual and group access to AWS resources. And in IAM, we should understand how group permissions work and how roles and policies are working. This IAM users authentication can be enabled by password as well as MFA device. So in best practice, always try to avoid root credentials and use IAM user. So that there are a few key terms. First thing will be IAM user. An user is a unique identity recognized by AWS services. It is nothing but a normal user, right? Which is a user enrolled with a name. Second thing will be IAM role. IAM role is an IAM entity which has set up permissions similar like user, but you can assign and role to any application. It's not necessary on individual person should be there for a role. This IAM role will be useful for trusted entities like assume role. We'll see how assume role will work. Yes, MFA, multi-factor authentication. I'll show you in the console how to configure MFA. Yeah. So next thing will be groups. Similarly, if you have a set of administration people, you can combine everyone into a single group called IAM group. So This is a key difference between IAM role and IAM user. An IAM user has permanent long-term credentials with AWS account, whereas IAM role doesn't have any long-term credentials. So this is policy. Policy is a document defining permissions that apply to a user or a group or a role. So those definitions you can take even from AWS. They have plenty of documents. And resource is nothing but an entity that users can work in AWS. Like resource is nothing but a service, which is nothing but EC2 or S3 or DynamoDB, right? So IAM permissions. So IAM permission we can give in two ways. Like one is identity based and next thing resource based. Identity based is nothing but an we're giving permission to a specific set of users or set of group. Whereas resource based or we are giving permission to some instance or some we are giving permissions to a service which will act on behalf of us. So let's say I'm gonna give permission to an EC2 instance to launch another instance, so that we can say resource based permissions. Sorry. So we'll see the console here. So this is the IAM dashboard. So if you see here, we have users, group, roles, policies, identity providers, account settings, and everything. So first thing we should do how to create a user. Rather I can just a moment, I can use my own account. Right. So here I am just launching my home AWS dashboard. I am using dashboard. Here you can see groups, users, roles, policies, identity providers. Let's see what first one. We'll start with users. I'm gonna create a new user called test user. Here you could see generate an access key for each user. This access key and secret key will be useful when you do any REST query, which is not necessary for me right now. Okay, I have created. So by default, whenever you create any new user, that user doesn't have any privilege to do anything on the AWS account. We'll have to attach some policies on that user to log in into the AWS, right? So here I'm going to check that user. See, there are no permissions for that user. I'm gonna give admin access to this user. Just attaching that policy. Now this user has a permission as administrator, and and security credentials will have to set the permissions. See here, we have manage password and manage MFA device. So first thing I'll have to choose manage password, assign an auto-generated password. So always best practice just enable this thing. Okay, I got my password here. All I have to do just copy this and paste it somewhere. Next thing, I'll show you how to create an MFA device. This we can do in two ways. Like first thing is a virtual MFA device, and second thing is hardware MFA device. And virtual MFA device is nothing but a Google Authenticator or any authenticator. In Microsoft we have an app called Authenticator. In Google, in Android we have a Google Authenticator. Just download that application. Once you download that application, it will ask you to just if you download that application, it will have a option to share the scan the barcode. Once you scan the barcode, you'll get the authentication code. So say that you want to do it right now. Shall I wait for you? Okay, so since I have okay. So since I have that authenticator already, I'm going to say next step. I have to scan this code. I got the code now. I'll have to enter twice. Like it will be reset for every 15 seconds. This is how we set up Gmail authentication. I remember setting. Yeah, it is kind of similar way. While we'll do in SML authentication, a similar way. Now it says the MFA was successfully associated. Now all I have to do, I have to check whether my login is worked or not. So this is my sign-in credential for IAM user. I'm going to try this. The username will be test user, and the password we know. And it asked me for the MFA code 201486. Okay. I made some mistake. The password seems. Okay. Now I have login with my test user. So since he has admin privilege, I can jump into any service. I can do anything on the available services. So this is how we have to create a new user and provide credentials. Next thing we're gonna see about the roles. See in the roles, as I said already, it's not necessary to have it as a person. We can keep this role as the credential to access the applications. let's say I'm gonna use my EC2. I'm giving EC2 full access here for this particular row, and I just say create row. So now I got a role, and you see there is an option called trust relationship. What exactly the trust relationship will do? Like let's say I have a 2 or 3 AWS accounts, and I just want to use that particular role to access those particular accounts, so that I can create a trust relationship here. So which means without creating an additional user on that B account, let's say I have account A and account B, I'm going to access account B from account A. So in order to use that, I don't need to create another user in account B. Rather than I can create a trust relationship with account A, and I can use the relationship trust relationship. So here I can show you how to do that. See, that's our action says STS assume role. Assume like I have full access. Assume that I have full access to that particular role with EC2. Once you give the account number and role and role name, like this ARN, whatever mentioned this ARN, the same thing you will have to paste in the trust relationship. Once you good to go, here there will be an option called switch role. I mean, I can show it here. Since I'm an IAM user, I don't have, I think. So there will be an option called switch role. By use of that switch role, you can switch from one account to next account, right? Sorry, we have skipped to somewhere else. So that's the key thing with the roles. Now we're gonna see about the policies. There are two policies are available. One is AWS managed policies and inline policies, custom policies. So these are the available policies, which is as a pre-template which is provided from AWS. Like you can choose any service. You have full access or read-only access. You can, even if you want, you can customize this thing. There is a tool called policy generator. By use of policy generator, you can stimulate your own policy. I'm going to say allow, and the service I'm going to use is, let's say, EC2, and the actions I say all actions, and the ARN will have to take from the IAM dashboard. resource field is not valid. Let me try to start. Amazon resource name, which is nothing but ARN. So here I am giving a random policy which is allow easy to all access to the all resources whoever inside my IAM. If you want to create a particular user, you can add your particular user name here. Once you generate a policy, you will have to validate those things. If it is valid, you can say create policy. Yes, it's a JSON, correct. Or you can use JSON validator. So in this way, we can create policy. So any doubts so far? Can you go this one second? I mean, Pradeep, just a second, I'll unmute you. Yeah, Pradeep, go ahead.
Hi, Hari. See, you're going away very fast, so
Okay.
not able to follow. So
Okay.
can you just go over this complete process again?
I mean, creating the role or creating a policy?
Creating a role and policy.
Okay. Okay, no worries.
Just be a bit slow so that we'll be able to follow that. It's
Sure.
your screen was pretty fast and. So
Okay.
explain a little bit elaboratively.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll start from roles again.
Yeah.
So role is nothing but you got my definition point. Right? You got my point, right? How it differs from role and user.
Yeah, that's fine. I got it. But yeah, if you could explain again, that'd be nice.
Okay. So role is nothing but an additional kind of privilege which is giving to an application instead of creating a user that. Let's say I have an application and which is trying to launch an instance or create new bucket on behalf of my user. I can use a role and I can give that user's roles access the credentials to that application, and that application will do the part. So for that I have to create a role and I'll have to create some set some permission for that particular role. So first thing, as how we have done with the user, same thing, we'll have to attach some policies. So once I done this thing, trust relationship is nothing but to access another AWS account from any third party or from another from from another account. So which is greatly reduce your you adding up another user in the destination account.
Okay. One quick question, Ari.
Yeah.
The attaching this policy, these are predefined policies, or you have
And there
created
are
new
two ways
policies?
of policies available. One is a predefined custom policies. I mean AWS managed policies. And next thing will be inline policies, which I shown you earlier. No, that's an option called policy generator.
Okay.
So
Oh,
the
so you
two
can
ways are
generate the policy based on that. Is that a kind of a custom policy or something, or?
uh, see that depends on your requirement. Like if you're gonna give full access to everything, you can say full access to administrator access. If you give administrator
Oh,
access,
okay. Okay.
this role can do anything on the AWS account. If you want to restrict only with EC2 or only with the read-only access, you can restrict the policy with the inline policy.
Okay.
So if I say create policy, there's an option called create your own policy, right? So
Okay.
I can choose here, and here you can use AWS policy generator. just a second, I have another question from Krishna Kumar. Yes, Mr. Krishna Kumar.
Hey, Hari, I was just wondering, you created a roles, right? Where did you attach that roles to the user?
No, no, no. We are not going to attach the role to any user. User is different and role is different. User is for accessing the AWS, which just like we are doing in any account, like with username, password, and MFA something. MFA is nothing but another kind of authentication. I mean, another step of authentication. Whereas role, which is normally used to access AWS resources from any application, not from console. So
Okay.
normally what happen in any if you are going to write any bash script or if you're going to write any PowerShell script, so in that script if there is a requirement to launch an instance in AWS, for that you'll have to set some secret keys and access key, right? You'll have
Okay.
to set the credentials. So since it is not automated, since it's a script, you'll have to set some credentials. But for that credentials, you'll have to set some roles so that that role has some policies which is attached with that role. It will act at behalf of you so that it will launch an instance or it will create a bucket or it will create a DynamoDB. So it will just like when user works on the AWS console, same way the script will work. So in order to do that, I will have to create a role.
So this role is not for the user; it is for the application. You mean, right?
Correct.
So this role, whatever I'm creating, it's gonna be applicable for all the users. Like, let's say I've created 10 users, so all the users when they come in and if they launch any application, will this
That
particular
you can
role?
user, but application in the sense the same way. I'm just let's say I'm not sure how you are like comfortable with automation tools. Like, uh, can do you ever work with continuous integration tools like Jenkins?
Yeah, I'm working on Hudson and Jenkins both.
Okay, okay, great. So, what exactly will Jenkins will do? Like, so when we have a UAT and we have a production, let's say in UAT, you're gonna test something, and for that testing, you need something to be launched. That is some instance to be launched, and some DB has to be created. For that, normally what we'll do, we'll set some access key and secret key inside that script. I mean, inside the Jenkins, so that the Jenkins will launch the machines. Rather than that,
Right.
what I'm saying, I can use roles. These rules can launch instance and create DB and do whatever it want. So once it done, it is like for in case of user, if you're giving access key and secret key in the application, it is a long-term credentials, whereas roles are short-term credentials,
Okay. Yeah, I see.
right?
Hmm.
So if time permits, I can show you how we can use roles in that any script or somewhere.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry guys. So see here we're gonna create a policy. So I have to choose what kind of policy I'm going to choose. I am use policy. So what service I'm gonna use is the S3, and what are the actions I need? I'm say all actions. And for what resource I'm going to attach this role. I'm say since there should be some bucket. Since it is a S3, I don't have any bucket seems like so. So what I can do rather than S3, I can go with some other service. Yeah, easy to and all actions. So once I got this policy, I can paste it here and I can give some name and well, let's do it again. difference between role and policy. Just a second. Yeah, but do you have a question? Yes, Pradeep.
Yeah. So Hari, just to re-clarify, this policy you are generating this policy based
Okay.
on the application. Like you selected EC2 for
Correct.
now,
Yes.
okay, and clicked all access.
Mm-hmm.
So you will be getting so this particular policy will provide all access within the EC2 application
Correct. Correct.
in Amazon. Okay. So this policy you are attaching to the admin role, or to which role you are attaching this to?
No, this is I'm just creating this policy. Just a second. Let me do the thing.
Okay.
EC2 service not an application. No. Here I'm on because application means it will call from the third. I mean, which is running in out of from your AWS environment. So you're going to access AWS environment from outside world. Just a second, Pauline. I'll unmute you. So once I've answered this Pradeep question. So let's say I have a test user role, right? So for this test user role, I'm going to attach that particular policy. So from now onwards, this user have a full access with EC2.
Okay. And for a user
Yeah,
who is accessing now, as a user, like for example, I get into Amazon.
yeah.
So how the user will be able to access this sample, this particular policy? I mean EC2. What user needs to do to access EC2?
Let's say I am just going to remove this policy, test this policy for this particular user, test user, right? So now this user only has a sample policy which is attached. We all know sample has only full access for the EC2. So what I can do, test user, I can log in with the test user right now, right? So we'll show you how it works.
Your password is there.
Let me see. So if I'm trying to go to S3,
We were talking about EC2, no?
yes,
Not S3, right?
it says you don't have permission to use S3,
Okay, cool. Okay.
right? So I can do my work only on EC2. So this way you can restrict users to use only particular services. Since I have attached full permission to EC2, I can do anything like spot instance, reserved instance, schedule instance, volumes. I have full access with EC2 dashboard.
Okay. Now that administrator role, what you given first. So ideally, administrator role, permission means he can access each and every
Services,
applications within the AWS, right?
not
Like
application
services within
services.
the AWS services. I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
EC2 and S3 are a
Mm.
part of administrator, right? Since admin role, if I have admin role, I can have
Correct,
I
correct,
should be
correct.
able to access all the services.
Administration access have,
Yes, sir.
I mean, it can able to access almost every services. Only thing admin cannot access billing. Like for every user, if you click that user, you will see my account and under billing and cost management, right? For this, only root has access. No other admin. Even though you have attached admin access, you can't able to view how much resource you utilize and what is the billing amount. For that, you will have to create a policy and attach to that particular user. If you are going to create a user as administrator, and you will have some create a custom policy. Unless otherwise, he can't able to see the billing and cost management.
Okay, okay, yeah. So whatever specifically we need to create one policy for this particular billing and management so that that user will be able to perform some activity on that.
Correct. Correct. He can do it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Hari.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Pauline. Pauline, you there? Okay. So, someone has asked me what is it? I'm sorry. Can you hear me? No, we can't hear you. You are muted. I have unmuted you, but thing is, you are muted from yourself. Okay, no problem. Can you just text me your question here so that I can answer before proceed further? All right. So, now we are clear with users and roles, right? So, policies, as I said, we have yes, Krishna Kumar. Yes, Krishna Kumar. What's the question?
If you don't mind, can you please share the steps, the way you have created users and groups and roles and policies? Because by looking at the screenshot which you did, we would be able to remember for just one day, but we would be able to do it. If I want to do the same stuff, whatever you did,
Mm-hmm.
I won't be able to do it. If you could share the steps, it would be really helpful for me. Helpful for everybody.
That's what it is, a repeatable question for every session, and I've been recording the sessions. Hopefully I can share this recording sessions with you once the session is completed. I mean the end of the training session.
So yeah, that would be great. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm recording in every session so I can share those things, no problem. So so roles, policies, we are good as of now, right? Groups are nothing but, let's say you have a set of administrators in your account. You can create a group rather than creating each users individually for administration. You can create one group and you can attach all those users into one group. Just like we are working in the infrastructure systems. So here I'm going to create a new group called test group. So this user doesn't have any users and this user doesn't have any permissions. I have attached administrator access. Now I'll have to add the user to this group. I'm going to add this test user into this group. So from now onwards, whenever this user is going to log in, he will append the permissions whatever this group has. Which this group will work. Identity providers. So this is nothing but an normally if you have SML authentication or a single sign-on authentication in the federation account, you can go for SML and OpenID. So this we are not going to see now. These are the security status. I mean, I have created my root access keys and I activated my MFA. I have created individual IAM users for each necessary requirement, and I have created a group and I have set permissions and I have set an apply an IAM password policy. This IAM password policy is nothing but how many days once you are going to reset your policies, how should be your password, like you should be have alphanumerical characters, special characters, what is the password length, those things. So any doubt so far, guys? So all right, Pradeep, let me unmute you. Yes, Pradeep.
Hari, for the last couple of sessions that we had, no, this is the third session we had, right? So
Yes.
those two sessions recordings,
Is it third session or
we
fourth session?
hadn't. This is ideally a third session, right?
Because last week I didn't get a chance to take this session because I was not outside. So I asked my colleague to do this session, but is that happen or not?
No, it didn't happen at all, I think.
Okay, okay then, okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
this is actually an ideal third session.
Okay.
So, so these three sessions, I know for the last two sessions that you taken, I have not got the recording for that. Did you happen to send
No,
by that by any
I
chance?
haven't sent it regarding to anyone else. And what I can, I'm just gathering all the mail IDs from the registers. Like I got so far 45 accounts. So because since each recording is around 70 MB, I'm just looking for the best way to compress everything. I can send it across to you.
Oh, instead of, yeah, okay. So if instead of combining all, you could send it part by part, right? Session by session. Is it not possible?
Yeah, I'll do that.
So
I'll
that the files will be smaller and it will be more easier for the wider audience to get that
okay. Okay,
by mail. So yeah,
yeah,
that will be helpful, right? So,
yeah, I'll do that.
okay, and I think somebody in the group asked about some write-ups, right? Some notes on this particular the PPTs
Yes,
and stuff
yes.
like that.
I think one of our.
That is also attached to that, right?
I mean, are you saying about the chat notes or?
And not chat on basically the PPTs and all those
The PPT anyway I'm gonna share with you because this PPT is not only having this topic, it has a lot of topics. So best option would be I can share the PPT at the end of the session.
Okay. And eventually, end of the sessions, you will give an assistance for the certification part also?
No, but what I heard for the objective of this course is to get some hands-on with the AWS account for the major services. For certification, it is again. I cannot. I'm afraid I can't take the certification part in just 1 hour. Because even I'm just
Okay.
most I'm just trying to explain you only the major services like key services like EC2, S3, IAM. Today we have seen about IAM, how to create user role and policies, and in the upcoming class we will see how to create and how to use storage. I mean S3 storage gateway, those things. And the remaining classes I will try to cover VPC. It's a networking part, and because with that. Maybe our only we have 8 classes, right?
Yeah, my question was, no, out of these 8 classes, whatever you're taking,
Yeah.
how these 8 classes will be beneficial for us to appear for the AWS certification. So suppose I want to do certification.
But what kind of certification you going to appear? Like you are going to concentrate on solution architect, developer, or DevOps?
DevOps.
DevOps. So if you anyone going to choose DevOps, obviously they will have to know more about infrastructure based like EC2, S3. So in that way only, like I am just driving this course based on that.
Okay.
So if anyone
So
in
that information.
sorry,
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, but what I'm saying is that information, if you could tell us that if we are concentrating on one stream, this area would be more beneficial if it is being into in an DevOps or architect. So
So
where we have to concentrate and where. Yeah.
so can I get a heads up like how many of us interested in DevOps? Can raise your hands. I have got 29 as of now attendees. So how many of us are interested in DevOps? Okay, one,
So,
two,
so Hari.
yeah,
So in general, so this course is an overview of all the three.
correct.
If I'm not wrong.
So what I can do in the last session, maybe we can keep that last session only for the certification overview, like how we can proceed for the certification, on what are the key services we have to look, and how we should prepare for the certification.
That would help,
That,
yeah. So
that I
because
can.
the objective of this course will be met, right? What why we are doing this course, that objective will be met. So
Okay,
not
okay,
just by doing this, and again we will forget.
correct.
We have to make use of this, leverage this opportunity, right? So what after this, we need to achieve some certification, which will be useful for
So,
us,
so
right?
for the last session, we'll reserve only for the certification, how to train for the certification, get trained for the certification, and what are key things we should look at.
Okay, that'll help actually. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Ravi. Hari.
Okay. Anything else, Pradeep?
Yeah, that's it. I wanted to clarify that. That's why.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
So,
you.
any other question for this session from anyone else? Yes, I'll unmute everyone. So, please ask one by one. The question,
Hello.
yeah,
Hi, Hari.
yeah.
Virendra here. So, Hari, I have a question related to rules, right? So, since any resource to get any permission on any resource, we create policy and we assign the policy to role. Now, this is a separate thing, and now we have created user group, right? User and group, but I didn't see, have you assigned any role to group? Because I
No,
didn't see any link
I
between
have
role
assigned
and.
administrator access to the group.
Okay. So administrator role you are talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Group has permissions of administrator access.
Okay. Okay.
Right? Yeah.
So this is attached policy or this is a policy, right?
Yeah, it's already in. I mean, AWS custom AWS policy. It's not a custom policy. So
So you directly attaching the policy to the group, or
yeah,
this is
yeah,
attached policy, right?
Yeah, I'm just manually attaching a group policy to the group. By default, if you create any user group or role, those things don't have any permissions by default. So you'll have to manually attach policies for each thing.
Oh, what I know, I mean, we attach policy to role and then we attach the role to the group. Role in the sense admin, developer, or anything.
Yes.
So policy is attached to the group roles.
No, I'm saying
But here we are
just a
directly
second.
attaching the policy.
Uh, just a second. I'm going to mute everything because I have found some lot of noises. I'll just unmute one you alone. Just a second. Yes. What's the question again?
What's the, we are not here you are attaching the policy to the group
Correct.
and we also attach the policy to role, but I am not seeing any link between role and group.
Okay. You want to see the difference between role and group?
No, how the role is associated with group.
No, role and group is entirely different. Like role, which is used to only say, as I said, if you want to access two or more accounts from one account, you can use role. Role will be more used of by applications. Like if you're if you're just using any script or any program to access AWS resources, you can use role. Whereas if you're going to use AWS console, you can either go for users.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Okay. No, this thing is not clear to me. Can you please explain it again?
Can you speak louder?
Uh, yeah, this thing, whatever I told, I mean, a bit confusing for me. So could you please go over it again?
Uh, you want me to explain again with roles and
No,
groups?
no, no, no. Just explain me how the you are saying that there is no link between group and roles, right?
Correct. So I'm saying,
Okay, and
just imagine you are an administrator in your organization, right? You have 10 number of
mhm,
users, and then the 10 users, just three users are belongs to an application development group, and 7 users belongs to an billing group. So what you can do,
mhm,
you can create a billing group, and you can create a role, you can create a new group or billing, and you can attach only billing policy for that particular group, and you can attach all those users to that particular billing group. So here
mhm.
for that particular user, 7 users, you are not going to attach any policy. So if the user belongs to some
Okay, so
group,
you mean to say that role?
no, I haven't
So
done
you
that.
mean to say that role is nowhere associated with group?
Correct. Role is something entirely different.
Okay.
Role here, I'm just creating a role. This role doesn't have any permissions. I mean, by default, one role cannot log into the AWS console, whereas if a person who was behind the groups, they can able to log in into the console. This role is only to, uh, let's say I have a JSON script and it is only used for the script and the programs. So let's say I have a JSON script and this script is going to launch an application and launch a service in AWS. For that, I can use that role.
Okay, and then role will associated to the user somehow. That's
Uh,
why
if you have some, I'll show you how an role will work. See, here I have a test role, right? So
yes.
what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a edit relationship, and I I'll see if I have any policies already. Okay, let me take this script as an example. Okay, so can you see the script?
Yes.
So this is a script used to launch WordPress application, right? So here I'm just giving EC2 keeper as which is whenever launching any EC2 instance, you remember you will have to set some a keeper so that then only you can able to launch that. I mean, again into that instance. So here I am giving the keeper details, all what kind of instance I'm going to launch, and what is the SS location, everything I'm giving. What kind of security group. So once it's done, see here there is a option called user data. Here I'm saying what I am going to do. First, like I'm going to update this. I'm going to install these things inside an instance. So if you're going to do this kind of stuff, so for that you'll have to attach a role, and you'll have to create a relationship on that, right? Edit test relationship, no? In that you'll have to get a relationship with another account. Once it is done, if I launch this CFT in my account, it will act as it has every credentials, and uh, it will launch an instance, and it will install all those things, and it will create WordPress on account B. Am I clear? Hello?
Not very much.
Okay, I'll do one thing here. Uh, I'll uh, I'll do one thing.
As a user.
Okay, for what I can do, in the next session I can create a trust relationship. Since I have very limited time now, I will create a trust relationship with another account. I can show you with once the sample application how it able to communicate with another account, how it works. So
Okay, that's fine.
as of now, I can say role is entirely different with users and groups, right? So role is only to use for an application to launch launch any service in the AWS.
But for which user? I mean,
No,
obviously
no.
somehow it will be related to the right. So
Again, this role is not belongs to any user. Normally, I think you are confusing this role and user terms with normal traditional pattern. So normally here this role is only for application to use. It's not for any person to use.
okay. Okay.
Right? I'll
Okay, it's fine, Hari.
okay. So any other questions? Okay, I'll take this now. And with this, I'm going to end this session, and we'll see storage in the upcoming sessions. And before that, I'll show you how to create a trust relationship and how exactly we can do with the roles, right? Thanks, everyone.
Okay.
Hari, you there?
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah,
Hari, yeah, just to re-clarify,
okay.
next time, like tomorrow, next session, what you do, just once again, just go over that, as a user, like for example, a user wants to go into AWS, okay?
Okay.
He logs into AWS,
Mm-hmm.
then in the AWS, whatever offerings or whatever services AWS has, he
Mm-hmm.
will be able to see that, okay? He'll be able to access that. And that services are all or offerings, whatever is there within like the couple of things which you showed, the S3 and EZ2,
Mm-hmm.
they are all accessible via the the admin permission, right? The administrator role.
Correct. Since I have attached administrator
Right.
policy to that particular user. Correct.
For that, which user? The user who are logged in, like the test user or XYZ or ABC, whoever logs in.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. Yeah. So admin role has access to all these services. Despite having all those access to all those services, there are certain internal things which will not work without defining a specific policy.
Yes. So if you want to restrict some services, you can give some custom policy. Unless service, you can give administrator, which means you have full access for all services.
Okay. Okay. Now here in this example, a test user had admin role. Even after having admin role, what was the necessity of creating another policy here? Trust, what do we say? The trust relationship again.
No, this trust
edit that?
This majorly used to access another account. It is not like for administrator access. It has all access only for this particular account. He cannot able to access another account, right?
Oh, okay. So that admin role is only for EC2.
Yes.
Or
yes. Not for
okay. So
only for this account.
Okay, this account. Okay. Okay, which means one customer for one particular customer.
Yeah. Let's say you have a let's say you have a customer who is having a who is able to, looking for the billing access and other things in your account, and you want the same you want to manage another account billing access. So instead of creating another user in that B account, you can create a trust relationship here, so that with these credentials you can able to log in into that account also.
Oh, that now it is clear. Okay, I was wondering, so this particular account, like say ABC is an account, and for that ABC account, a test user is one user through which he logs in, and then the test user has a role of admin. Okay, but that admin will have access to only whatever that customer has is taken the offering, or whatever customer has those services which he purchased.
Yes.
Exactly, and then if it is an XYZ company or a different account, then if we have to cross relation, try to get some details from there, then we don't need to. We can create these policies.
Yes, we can. We don't need to create any account for. We don't need to create a user for each account for that particular user. Rather, we can create a trust relationship, and with that trust relationship, we can able to since he is logging into only one account, with the trust relationship, we can able to view all other accounts. In the upcoming class, I can show you how to use this trust relationship.
Okay. But again, there should be some authentication on that particular account, right? How will I access that account?
No need to. Since he is having authentication with this account, which is enough for to. Just a second, I will show you here itself. You see here there is an option called switch role. So if I say switch role, all I have to give with the account number and the role which I have created and the display name which is optional thing. Here the account number should be the destination account and the role. Once I give the destination account number and the role which is I have created in the in the A account, I mean source account, I can able to switch role. I'll tell you this in the upcoming class.
Okay, yeah, that will help. Yeah. So that's why I was a little confused, like, why we are accessing somebody else's, information
No,
without our
you don't need to
information.
provide any credentials. Only thing you have to give the account number. That's it.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
yeah.
And Miss
Maybe
Pauline,
you will show it in the next class, right?
yeah, definitely. I'm gonna see it show you in the next class. This trustmanship alone.
Okay, yeah. So just before that, the next class, no, just I wanted to go
Yeah,
through
I
all
can
those
do it right
previous
now.
classes,
But then
whatever.
I don't have the credentials. Like in the training account, I don't have admin access, so I can't do it right now. So I'll get the access
No, no, no,
and
that's fine. What I'm saying is, Hari, like previous, before next class, I
yeah.
want to see that class 1, class 2, and then class 3, whatever we have just done. So the recordings, if you could upload it in some location or somewhere and give us the
Okay.
details,
Yeah, sure,
I can
sure.
just brush through that, and then so it'll be easier for me to understand. Because we are having 1 week classes, in this 1 week we will do so many other things, and it will skip, we don't,
No problem. I'll
we
try
will
to
not able to recollect.
upload the session to you guys.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that'll help. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So any other questions? All right. Thanks everyone. We'll wind up the class today.
Thanks, Harisha.